What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 348.1, the Purdue Report, this week with our IU guy Grant Shouse, our Pacers guy Mike Rich, and Will Retherford of the Will Retherford Show. We all talk a little Purdue basketball and football, filling in for the Purdue guy that we know that we're going to find pretty soon. This is our first of many Purdue reports coming up in the next year as Season 2 of the Central Indiana Sports Report gets underway a week from Monday.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
We are making history, guys, out here at Elwood Golf Course, our first ever Purdue report. We still don't have a Purdue guy or gal. We are looking for a Purdue guy to come and talk about Purdue sports every week. And this is your invitation to text me at 502-533-3161 and tell me that you are interested and think that you could perform at least as well as the bozos around me. I'm here with our IU guy, Grant Shouse, our Pacers guy, Mike Rich, who is also a Purdue fan, and our Will Retherford guy from the Will Retherford Show here to talk a little bit of Boilermakers. First, we're going to talk a little football, and when I say a little bit of football, we're going to talk a very little bit of football, and then we're going to talk a little bit of Purdue basketball because that's one of my obsessions of sports. 502-533-3161. If you are interested, we will sit down and talk and see if you're the right fit. Welcome, everybody, at the beautiful Elwood Golf Course.
I played here earlier today, played 9 on the back 9, and it's beautiful back there. It's a whole different course on the back than it is on the front, so Michelle must just be walking the front along the road.
All right, guys, let's talk some Boilermakers. We'll start with the football team. All I'm going to say is I think they're going to win 4 games this year. The 2 obvious ones, Ball State and Illinois State, and then they're going to win 2 other games. Somebody tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're being generous.
I think that Ball State has a really good shot at going in there, and
I believe in Barry Odom. I think he's the right guy. I think it's
I don't know. I don't know if they might be once again one of the worst Power 4 team, maybe the worst Power 4 team in the entire country. Like I don't think they're winning a single Big Ten game.
I think they're winning some games. Again, I really like Odom. I think I like a lot of the talent that he brought in. That UNLV team was really good last year, and he brought in 30 of those guys or whatever. Not that they're Big Ten players necessarily, but I would put the over-under at 3.5, and I'd take the over.
They have one of my favorite names in all of sports, Nitro Tuggle, on their team now.
And he might be their best player.
He could be. He's from he went to Northwood High School up in Napanee, Indiana. One of my guys I know coached him in basketball, so little respect for him. But actually, I don't hate the 4 total wins for Purdue this year. But I think that I just don't think they'll be able to compete in a lot of those games. I think Ball State could nab them. I think Will's got a point.
You guys are out of your minds. Ball State is not beating them. And by the way, I love Ball State.
But Ball State is definitely going to be better than they have been.
I mean, I'm obviously a graduate of Ball State, doing a master's degree there, but Ball State's was not an awful football team last year. I mean, they were absolute shootouts in those MAC games. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule. There's no way in hell.
There's a 3-game stretch, Minnesota, Northwestern, and Rutgers, and I think they win 2 of those. How about that?
Boy.
Yeah. I don't think they're better than Minnesota, but
they're not beating a single Big Ten team. Not happening.
I'll take the over, guys.
The stretch of USC, Notre Dame, Illinois, and
yeah, there's some brutal stretches in there. If that's not the toughest schedule in the country, there aren't many tougher.
Well, I mean, I guess you're looking at how good is Michigan going to take the leap? Washington will probably be down. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at the other Big Ten schedules, but this is definitely a tougher bit, probably a top 4 Big Ten schedule, I would say, with what they've got this year.
Coach Odom, I'm calling it 4 wins for you. If you win 4 wins, is he the Big Ten Coach of the Year?
No.
Wow, that sounds like you might want to give them a kiss on the lips, though, if they do. I mean, good Lord.
That is a tough schedule, man. And again, not expected to be a very good team. So let's talk about basketball, which is one of my passions and is going to be a very good team. Of course, Mike Rich and I grew up with Troy Lewis, the Troy Lewis era, the Glenn Robinson era. We've been through the best Purdue eras in the program's history, but we're probably actually in the best ever right now.
No, we've been spoiled recently.
And Matt Painter is better than Gene Cady. I cannot believe I ever thought that we would have a coach better than Gene Cady, much less the guy that I hated in college. He's that we talked about last year. There's just those players. There's always at least one guy on your team that you're like, why is that guy playing?
And that guy was Matt Painter.
That was Matt Painter to us, the Purdue fans. And now he's back, and he is the best coach in the country, and they have the best roster in the country. And we'll probably go into the season number 1 for the first time ever, Mike.
That's pretty exciting. I wasn't expecting them to be first, preseason. So that's super exciting. I mean, they got some good players returning.
Well, let's talk about that.
My thing is yeah, they have all these great players, and I'm not saying they're going to be bad because I do think they are deserving of number 1. What I'll be interested to see, how are all those guys going to gel together in that system? And I think they will.
Returners.
Yeah.
But a lot of those
2 new guys.
A lot of one guy that I've heard has real potential is a guy named Omar Mayer, I believe is his name, and they're saying he's the next Braden Smith. He's the Braden Smith in training. And I saw Matt Painter say today that one guy that's going to have a huge season for them and is going to play a lot is a guy named Jack Benner from Brownstown
His father
Central.
I know well.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And Jack was a great player in high school. I watched that dude drop 38 in the semi-state championship his senior year. And he sat out last year as a redshirt, not because he was hurt. But
if he gets in that guard rotation, he is really, really good because that is a really good guard rotation.
I think he could be right underneath Fletcher Lawyer. And I know, you talk about guys that you see on your own team that people hate. I know people hate Fletcher Lawyer. For me as an IU guy, you want to hate Purdue, but it's so hard to hate them when they play the game the right way. And they've played the game the right way as compared to Indiana in the last decade. Maybe
I will
more.
say that Braden Smith is really, really easy to dislike if he's not on your team.
Absolutely.
But man, do I love having him on our team. He is the best
That
player
was
in the country.
and that
he
was the
reminds
thing.
me of Scott Skiles, who when I was growing up was the winner. He's going to do anything it takes, and that's Braden.
Well, that was the thing with Edey is that you hated Edey. I hated Zach Edey, but man,
It almost seems unfair when a guy's that good.
if he was on my team, I'd advocate like hell for him. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
And so people are always going to complain. People are always going to hate. And what I've been impressed with about Purdue is that they haven't let that affect them. You know what I mean? They still play the game the right way. They do things the right way, and they're gonna have a national championship level team this year. We'll see how they do in March, but the only other team I think preseason going into the season that could compete with them is Houston. And Houston's going to be good because they return a lot from that team that could have won the national championship last season.
But it took a last-second shot for Houston to beat Purdue in the tournament this year, and Purdue not only returns everybody, but also adds 2 great players.
Well, and it's not like Purdue
3 great players.
Well, it's not like
Jacobson's great.
Purdue defended that last shot very well. They went to sleep.
It was horribly bad. I was at Mike Rich's house, and we cried and cried.
Yeah, the backcourt is just going to be phenomenal for Purdue, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's talk, Mike, about the mentality of Purdue basketball fans right now, because we have a unique situation as fans that for our entire lifetime, they have been a contender to win a national championship. 15 times maybe? 15 times they've been a significant contender at least?
Yeah.
And never won it all. But we are just 2 years out from a Final Four. Did that Final Four run take away any of your passion for a Purdue championship?
No, not at all.
No.
No.
I'm like, at least they got to a Final Four.
I'm a Cubs fan, a Colts fan, and I saw the Cubs win. I've seen the Colts win.
So you're due for
I'm
Purdue.
due for Purdue or the Pacers. I don't care which one gets it first.
But if there is a year, and since 2011 when Robbie Hummel tore his ACL, this is the most confident I've felt in a team.
Not 2024.
Only because UConn was there as well, and you kept saying, but UConn. Purdue's the best team,
True.
But UConn. And there might be a but Houston situation this year
It
as
could
well.
be.
Or a but Duke.
Or
you never
for
know.
these other teams, it's going to be but Purdue.
Yes, let's
You know what I mean?
Let's hope that's right. And since we have our IU guy here, and we'll talk about this, Mike, I have 3 significant sports wishes before I die. Number 1 is by far a Pacers championship. Number 2 is a Boilermaker championship. And number 3, I really, 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 really want to see IU and Purdue good at the same time in college basketball. It has literally been 1993 since both teams were good at the same time.
That year with Trace and when Purdue was a 1 seed.
I mean, like top level good.
They were both top 15 teams in the country. I mean, how much better do you want them to be?
1988, they were number 2 and 3 in the country.
And Indiana swept them that year.
They were awfully good at the same time in 2020.
I mean, for a long stretch of time.
Well, you're right.
They've never played each other in the Big Ten tournament.
He's right.
Like they were both like
because Indiana
good.
was a top 5 Big Ten team that year. But I get what you're saying in that you want to see them be in the top 5.
Every year I want IU and Purdue to be the 2 teams to beat in the Big Ten.
I get what you're saying, but they still have been good at the same time.
They've been good at the same time.
Yeah.
You guys won't remember this. Remember 1987 and 1988? How great were those 2 years as Purdue and IU fans?
Yeah.
How about the NCAA tournament when they played each other in the Sweet 16, by the way? Boiler up. Purdue won that one in 1980.
What people, and I'm not saying this as a brag, I'm saying this as a fact. I think some people think this is interesting, but they played each other in the NIT championship.
That's right.
In 1980 at Madison Square Garden. And that's just something you don't see.
Wouldn't have been 1980 because
It was in 1979. It was 79. Indiana won the NIT that year, and that wasn't like the NIT now. Like the NIT now sucks, but that was the NIT when it kind of meant something. The NCAA tournament was premier, but it wasn't as premier as it is now. So you had the NCAA tournament and the NIT, and so for Purdue and Indiana to be there in a championship game setting was really big at that time. But Indiana ended up winning.
This will probably not be the year, unfortunately. IU might be pretty good. That's the best I think you can hope for IU basketball this year.
And I think
good.
I think they'll be good too, but I don't know that they're on that level as Purdue, man. I hate to say it, and it kills me to say it, but that Purdue team is pretty damn good.
Last thing I want to say about Purdue football is they will, as always, they will have the coolest uniforms out on the field this year. All right, everybody, thanks so much. And once again, if you're interested in talking Purdue sports, and we don't have to have an IU guy fill in and talk Purdue sports.
Trust me, I don't want to say I don't like it, but man, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to have the other guy on here who hates your team. So, please, 502-533-3161. We'll set up a time to talk about it, and maybe you're our Purdue guy. Thanks. Thank you so much to Mike Rich, Will Retherford, and Grant Shouse for filling in this week on the Purdue Report. And thank you to the Elwood Golf Links for hosting us once again. And thank you for listening. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a Purdue fan in your life. And please help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here. And we're talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.